Hi, my name's Kate Stafford and I'm the Deputy Principal at Hackney Campus. I worked at New City College for 4 years and in FE for 17 years. Before I came into teaching, I worked as a retail manager, having graduated in business. I came to FE at a really exciting policy point. I came into FE when the government was talking about policy and industrial strategy and how that linked with English and maths, and how the people needed to grow their English and maths skills in order to meet the new environments, which were highly technological. But also they were looking at the effects of English and maths on people's ordinary lives, the way that it affected their ability to engage with literacy, how it affected their numeracy skills in everyday kind of walks of life, and also how it impacted on their engagement with democracy and how they were less likely to vote. So it was a really exciting time and there was lots of changes, but also it meant that we were also working with people's engagement with English and maths, so we were really focused on bringing people in to learn maths for the first time. A lot of them were quite nervous. There was significant policy developments over time, and so we've gone from teaching key skills, which were very project-based, to endpoint assessments, which were multiple choice, to now doing GCSEs and people being highly stressed about having to do a national test. And so through that, became very interested in policy and how it impacts people in colleges, and also it impacts my students. I was also a manager at the time that study programs were introduced, and there was lots of changes within colleges that needed to be introduced as part of that study program. It was really difficult and very challenging, and nobody knew what to do and how to do it and the best way of doing it, actually. And so there was a lot of kind of testing it, trying things, sharing that, and hearing how other people had done it. There was really no silver bullet of how to introduce study programs. In 2016, I was given the opportunity to do an MA in education through the college that I was working with. And what that allowed me to do was to look further into the literature around policy in colleges, and also at managerial type theories, and putting those two together to look at the impact that policy has on government, and how the managers implement policy into colleges, and the impact that it has on teachers and quality of teaching and learning. My interests through my PhD that I'm now doing is about the impact of government policy on leaders and the consequences that has for teachers. And so through my research, I'm really looking forward to be able to talk to some sector leaders. The AOC that I'm doing my PhD have opened a lot of doors for me. I'm interested to find out what the experiences of college leaders is in terms of navigating and introducing policy. The impact that I hope it will have is that we can start to bridge the gap between government and college leaders, that there can be more discussion taking place going forward about government policy. The biggest thing to be aware of is that government leaders don't work in the sector. Often they haven't got a lot of experience of the sector. They may have been educated through sixth forms, particularly in the private sector, and also in grammar schools, so they have very little experience. So they are devising policy that then we have to then work out how to do and how to navigate. And all of this has an impact on teachers and the students. So I want to bridge that gap, make it a bit closer, and hopefully through time government will understand how a policy works within the colleges. It's quite nerve-wracking. It's quite a long journey. My PhD will take up to 7 years. I'm balancing that, doing it part-time and also working at the same time. What I'm really excited about is working with a new sector of network of peers, learning about my research journey, and whether this will be the start of something quite new to the sector and quite revolutionary. It might not make a difference, but we'll see. It's going to be a long journey, but I'm really excited to be at the start of developing research practice within colleges. Thank you very much for listening to my piece. I would love to engage with you, and if you are interested in my research, it'd be really good to meet and to get in contact. So please follow the website, get in touch, and let's make a network of researchers here at college.